A schema to do it facilitating for female to breastfeeding in social places in Newport should be rolling out through Wales, midwives include told. Coffee house and small restaurant personnel will get learning, and box signs will do it precise space supporting it. It hopes it will promote more than mothers to breastfeeding for infants at first few weeks in a bid to cut the hazard of them evolving adiposity in after lifetime. Several mothers told they had been requested to halt feed their babies in social. A registry of supporting space will be painted up and personnel will get knowledge sessions on the reasons female select to breastfeeding. Newport Justice told 2016 figures of Aneurin Bevan College Public Health Executive Board showed how, though a top % of babies unborn in Newport were BRASTF'd at childbirth, how quantity bring down significantly following 6 to 8 weeks. The Welch by the government's own schema, the Domestic Feeding Greet schema, ended in 2015, in-person councils leftward to solve if to carry out their own. Helen Rogers, CEO of the King's School of Midwives in Wales, told Time such schemes already existed in several areas. Down there was slight united up thought and a national lead should be put in location. We requirement female to be capable to breastfeeding in social out of possessing a feeling how human beings will complain about, she told. We aware how a quantity of female yet discover it hard and down there is a type how females breasts are a sex subject and he's penalty to consider them love how, but he's not penalty to breastfeeding yours infant in social he's not seen as thing house main and it should constitute. But several mothers say they yet person problems. Mom of 2 Elisa Socket told, until I aware how I include a secured law to breastfeeding where my family are permitted to be, I yet terror creature confronted and possessing to protect how law. I would be impressed to see signboard hospitable feeding in cafes and restaurants, as I would sense secured. But she told she was concerned it could unintentionally do some places, out of signs, be perceivable to be less than supporting. Sarah Powell Davies, who has a 16-monthly-old child Tyrion, welcomed the schedule. Knowledge you were making it some time, how beforehand welcomed you would do me more than potential to go down there knowledge you wouldn't get any adverse comments, she told. Though include to tell, I include never had nobody say whatever adverse on feed in social, just always had smiles. Alexandra Jenkins, who has a 8-year-old son Dandy, told she favored the concept, following she had a bad expertise in a coffee house. She told, an old dame was consuming dinner and requested me to halt feed as she was consuming her dinner in her man. I courteously said her how was my son and if she didn't love it, she could get her meal household. I was completely angry to say the low. It completely knocked together my trust. Nia web page, who has an 11-monthly-old son Nest, told, in the previous days of maternity the schema could include helping me solve wherever I met friends for a coffee. On event I would discover my personality giver my infant a upper up nourish in the car up departure to a social location. Sarah Connor told, it can be discouraging at first period about, and he's nice to sense backed though if it is fair a label, he's more than, he's assurance how thou re okay and secure and recognized as you are. Nicola Bainbridge, who has a 4-month-old child Beatrice, told, knowledge how personnel recognize the significance of feeding and supporting feed in social will assist customers to see it as it should be, regular feeding is regular and nature, whatever to supporting community in recognition this should be assigned. A social public health Wales representative told, adverse feedback loop while feeding in social can retain lot mums. The introduce of the feeding greet schema in Newport is a really useful deposit to overcome the Welch by the government told a feeding overview had been finished and recommendations to enhance understanding and ensure supporting were creature deliberate by Public Health Secretariat von Gething.